Just start recording. I'll edit out stuff.
Okay.
When you're ready.
You're gonna ask me questions. You need to ask me questions.
Oh, we'll just do present who you are and.
Why don't you just ask me the questions?
Okay.
Give
Hello.
me the date and the time and all that.
Okay. This is October the 16th, 2013, and we have President CEO of F.I.E.L.D, David Villarino, and he will provide with us his thoughts on the core values.
No.
No?
He will give us the interpretation.
He'll give us his interpretation.
No, not his.
The interpretation.
The interpretation.
The interpretation of the core values.
F.I.E.L.D's core values.
Okay.
It's English. Hello, my name is David Villarino Gonzalez, and I head up the Farmaker Institute of Education and Leadership Development. And it's a pleasure to make my acquaintance with you. The purpose of today's review is to talk a little bit about F.I.E.L.D's core values, how they came about, what they mean, and how we utilize these core values throughout our programs. To begin with, the F.I.E.L.D is an acronym, as you know, for the Farmaker Institute of Education and Leadership Development. F.I.E.L.D was founded in 1978 by Cesar Chavez as part of the farmworkers movement with an idea of strengthening the overall community of rural communities around the state as a complement to the self-sufficiency programs that were being implemented by the United Farmworkers. Since that time, however, the F.I.E.L.D really came together in 2000 when I was asked to put together a program, or educational program for F.I.E.L.D. And so the first thing we did was we sat down and we looked at what is F.I.E.L.D and how does it relate to Cesar's vision in terms of farmworker movement. And one of the things that we concluded was that there was at least 3 core values that really describe the ideology, the beliefs that Cesar had, and how it permeates throughout the programs that we launch. One of the most important aspects that you need to understand is the mission and vision of F.I.E.L.D. And so we determined that to really understand Cesar's vision, to understand Cesar's purpose, and to understand Cesar's programs that began, you really needed to get a sense of what was his vision for farm workers and for the workforce in rural communities and for Latinos at large. And it begins with the idea that people that lived in rural communities are really powerless, that there was no real power, that there was no real assets, that there was no real basis to really affect the economic and the industrial sectors in rural communities. Yes, the union, the United Farmworkers, was an important aspect for people to gain strength and confidence. But beyond that, farmworkers and agricultural workers and Latinos in general needed to get a good sense of how their confidence could be built to be able to affect a positive outcome in rural communities. And by just looking at a mission statement, we weren't going to be able to really convey that. So we really thought long and hard about the ideology, the philosophy of Cesar's beliefs and how it permeated to the programs. The first thing to remember is that F.I.E.L.D, the Farmworker Institute of Education and Leadership Development, is the name of the parent corporation. We're a nonprofit 501c3. And that means that we are given authority by the state of California to operate as a piece of state government to do the common good. Those are what nonprofits do. So we report to them exactly the good work that we do, not done by business and not done by colleges and other sectors. And that's why we have a tax-exempt status. So Cesar felt very strongly that, number one, most people have skills. They already have skills. What they really lacked was the confidence to use the skills they already have. So understanding that really talked about the individual's value. That individuals have an inherent value that they can contribute to their community, to their family, to the different type of organizational structures within a community, like a church or a school or the jobs. So that's the first important thing to believe, that Caesar, to understand that Caesar really believed that people, not so much that they don't have skills, it's they lack the confidence to use the skills they already have. So when he began to put together F.I.E.L.D, he began to figure out, well, the real idea with F.I.E.L.D was to build people's confidence to learn. And so for us, it talked really about the ideology. And there's two parts to an ideology. One is, what are your core values? And these are things that will never change. And we in F.I.E.L.D will always adhere to these core values, come high or low, even if it means that we're going to risk closing the business rather than giving up these core values. These are stringent things. We believe in this wholeheartedly. We will fall on our sword before we even consider ever changing these. These are called the core values, and core means exactly that. The other one is, what is our core purpose? So if we can envision, the core values are things that are always in place, and that the core purpose is something that we always strive for within the parameters of these core values. So our core values of Caesar's are the following. They include innovation, integrity, and si se puede. These are common through any of the organizations that Caesar founded. In addition, F.I.E.L.D has two more core values particular to F.I.E.L.D, and they are excellence and opportunity. Let's begin a little bit with innovation. Innovation, the idea behind innovation is to promote the active pursuit of new ideas. What that means in the history of Caesar is he innovated starting a farm worker union that was based on seasonal workers that were going to be able to contribute dues based on how much they earned, not on monthly dues like a regular union. He pulled together the idea of having medical benefits that, based on the seasonal nature of the workforce, workers could actually contribute on a monthly basis to qualify for benefits. So some people who work less hours paid in less amount for their medical plan, and people that worked a lot of hours, let's say year-round workers, would pay more. And so, but both types of workers, both seasonal workers and full-round workers, would be able to benefit from these health benefits. That's another innovation. A third innovation he came up with was a credit union, that seasonal poor workers could actually save money, and then in a credit union, similar to a bank, and then be able to borrow this money and pay it back slowly but surely, since they had no access to any kind of banks, either for loans, for car loans, or for education. So there was a number of innovations that he put together. And so along those lines, we have with innovation. And for F.I.E.L.D, it means figuring out how to take different partners and mutually beneficial approaches to taking these partners' resources and leveraging those so that F.I.E.L.D can grow. So innovation, what we innovate, and the other thing is we look for staff who are willing to bring new ideas forward about how we can make our program better. And then the same notion, as students, we require that students also contribute their ideas of what we need to do to make their educational opportunity better. So that's innovation. In other words, we want to surround ourselves with people who are creative, who have an idea about how to improve it, how to take responsibility. And if not, if we have staff that are just complacent to just do things because that's always how it's been done, we really don't need them. We want people who are going to push and improve things. So that's innovation. Another one, a core value, is integrity. When Caesar began building the farm worker movement, he began to put together different chapters, if you will, of the union and the service center, all up and down the state of California, throughout the state of Arizona, throughout the state of Oregon, all the way up to the state of Washington. And there was no way that Caesar could actually personally oversee every office operation that was developed. He had regions. And so therefore what he had was to make sure that he was able to hire people who had integrity, where whatever reports were given, they were accurate and they were reliable. in the same notion, he wanted to make sure that if people were asking for reimbursements, that those reimbursements were accurate and reliable, and that they actually were for expenses that were incurred. So there had to be a whole issue of trustworthiness. And along those lines, because he had this whole important of integrity, he had to make sure that staff had a lot of integrity. He made sure that people understood, I'm going to give full faith in you. But if there's a screw up, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm going to have to let you go because there's no way that I want to be able to expend resources to make sure that you're behaving properly. And therefore, it's important that folks who have the integrity and who have demonstrated that they can be trusted, that they're going to do what they say they're going to do, and that they're doing what they say they're going to do, is important. That's the whole notion about integrity. And we define it as doing the right thing. So the third core value that we have is called Si Se Puede. One of the ideas behind Si Se Puede and the importance of this core value is that we're dealing with a population that has never really had power, that have never really had the source of revenue and income and assets and wealth, as opposed to the industries where they lived and worked. Agricultural industries, they were recent immigrants, they didn't speak the language. So that's kind of like the area in the industrial sectors and the population that typically we have been working in. And so the notion of Si Se Puede is defined as a personal and organizational spirit that promotes confidence, courage, and risk-taking. In other words, one of the things that we really insist upon in terms of our students and our staff having a Si Se Puede attitude is that they're able to take the risk, that they're able to have the confidence, that they're able to take action, that they have the confidence, that they utilize their confidence to take action, to make change happen. We don't really desire to have shrinking violets in our organization. We want people who are going to be actively promoting this whole notion of taking risk, making change happen. Not in a way that is going to undermine the organization, but in an organized, well-planned, well-prepared campaigns or efforts that are going to work on leveraging resources of staff and the workers and the community and the students. And that whole idea of Si Se Puede, the personal and organizational spirit, is paramount. In other words, if you come to work for F.I.E.L.D., we don't want you just to come, and work from 8 to 5 and then go home. We don't want students who are just going to show up for class and then, as soon as class is over, go home. No. The point we insist with both of our staff and of our students is that we want them to really give back and to really work within the community. And that means service learning. That means giving service to the community, either as a volunteer or maybe for work experience or some idea. If we find that our staff only wants to come to work just to get a check, well, then you know what? Maybe we should be working for another organization. If a student just wants to come to be able to get their diploma and go back and do whatever they're going to do, that's fine. But maybe you should wait until your local school district or adult school pulls something together. Because here, our purpose is to serve the community. Our purpose is to strengthen the community. So those are the three initial core values that everything that Caesar has and worked on are embodied. The final two core values of the 5 of F.I.E.L.D's core values are excellence and opportunity. Excellence we define as a commitment and dedication to be the best. We're not really saying that we want to be better than anybody else because, well, we are. No, we're saying that in the programs that we're going to launch, we want to be better than any of the previous folks who have offered these kinds of programs, especially for our target market, which are low-wage, low-skilled Hispanics and other working people in rural communities. There, we want to excel in our programs. We want to be the best in terms of our literacy, in terms of our ESL, in terms of our high school graduates program for those that are diploma deficient, and to be able to access students from rural communities into the community colleges in career pathways. That we insist. We want to go back, we want to implement, we want to do process improvement, we want to make sure that our programs are constantly being challenged to become better so we can be the best. The final core value is called opportunity. Opportunity for us means we are committed to provide opportunity to our students. We are committed as a company to provide opportunity for our staff because we are committed to providing opportunity for the community. That's an important piece. The opportunity as a core value is defined as to enable workers and students to realize their dreams. Realizing their dreams means that we expect you to have, as a student, an idea of where it's possible for you to go. As a staff person in F.I.E.L.D, we expect you to work hard to be able to help those students fulfill their dreams, whatever it is. It's an important piece because if our community, which is deficient in so many different ways, is expected to grow and to flourish, we're going to have to make sure that we're giving opportunity to people who typically don't have opportunities, either to go to college or to come back as high school dropouts and get their diploma, or to be able to raise a family, or to be able to have a business. But together, to strengthen that community, it's going to take our commitment to give opportunities, provide opportunities, and our students and staff's ability to be able to provide those opportunities for people. So those are the core values. The other idea, in terms of our ideology, of our belief system, is the core purpose. In terms of where are we going for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And our core purpose of F.I.E.L.D is to strengthen rural communities by advancing humanity and realizing the individual's inherent worth. So it's not working just on the individual. And it's not just working on community. It's both. So we work on the community to build the confidence of that person to learn and to contribute. And we work on the community to be able to build up their economic development and the opportunity within that community. And so that both are leveraged together and synchronized so that we can be able to have a robust rural communities. The other part of our ideology, our vision, is to talk about we are committed over the next 10 years to serve 250,000 low-wage, low-skilled Hispanic and other working people in 5 regions around the country. At this juncture, we've as of 2013, we've served approximately 35,000 folks. So we have about another 215,000 people that we need to serve. And so we're pushing that very hard. Another piece of our vision is the whole idea of our mission. What is F.I.E.L.D's mission? So you now understand our vision in terms of our core values, our core purpose, and our big, hairy, audacious goal. Let's talk a little bit about our mission. F.I.E.L.D's mission is to promote economic and social prosperity for Latinos and other low-income, low-skill working people and their families. That's our mission. That means that we've got people, we're looking for people who have the core values and who have a history of exhibiting those core values and demonstrating those core values. We have a core purpose of going into these communities, both as individuals and to strengthen that community. And then we have our big goal is 250,000 people in 5 major areas, rural communities around the United States. And our mission is to promote economic and social prosperity, not just economic prosperity, and not just social prosperity where people can actually participate in the community, but economic prosperity and social prosperity together to be able to arrive at that. We want to thank you. We want to welcome you to the Farm Worker Institute of Education and Leadership Development, founded by Cesar Chavez in 1978. We want to encourage you to take leadership. We want to encourage you to contribute your skills and your resources to the common good so that we can build our rural communities. I want to thank you very much.